Hey guys, I'm glad you could join me today. Today we're going to talk about one of the things that we first learn when we get into martial arts, and it usually gives people a bunch of headaches when they first start, and that's about how to properly tie our belt. Okay, so the first method is what we call the hand switch, and this is also probably the most common method for tying your belt. First we want to take our kimono, we want to make sure that we go left over right. Okay? We're going to take our belt, and we're going to find the center of the belt. Okay? So I'm going to take the center of the belt, and I'm going to put that right where I want my knot to be. I want to make sure it's below my belly button, right on my waist, right about where my belt buckle would be. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to go around back, okay? And when I get back behind here, I'm going to switch hands like this here, okay? Come back around the front, and once I have this, I'm going to lay one down on top, and then I'm going to take the other tail, and I'm going to put it on top of that one. Once I have this position here, I'm going to take that tail that's on top, and I'm going to go underneath both layers of the belt. Both layers. Okay? So I should have this right here. I want to make sure that this is nice and flat. I don't want everything twisted up. Okay? So it's nice and flat right here. Now I have a top tail, and I have a bottom tail. So I'm going to take the bottom tail, and I'm going to flip it over one time. A lot of people don't talk about this. This is where they get all confused. But the bottom one gets flipped over. So I can see both sides. And one of the reasons why I like to wear this raggedy old belt is to help you guys, for this video, is to help you guys see two sides. Because one side's a little bit more shredded up than the other over time, right? So when I flip this, I can see both sides. Both sides of the belt of the bottom tail. I'm going to take the top tail. I'm going to go right on top of that. Weave it back underneath and through, and I'm going to pull to the sides, just like that. Pull to the sides, right? That right there is what we call our standard knot, okay? Our standard knot. There's going to be two different types of knots we're going to talk about, but this is our standard knot. So with this knot, which we call our standard knot, right, we're going to have a little arrow right here. So you can see how the two pieces of the belt kind of go to the inside, and they go into this sort of triangular piece right here. So it looks like there's an arrow pointing in this direction. Right? So that's anyways what we call our hand switch method for wrapping the belt, okay, with our standard knot variation. Now, let's look at this another way. Okay, so with this one, we're still going to do the hand switch variation. I have a different kind of belt right here. This belt has a stripe on one side and no stripe on the other. And the reason why I specifically chose this belt is so that you can see how we do that knot one more time, okay, for our standard knot. So I'm going to do my hand switch variation. So I find the center, I go around both of the back, switch them in the back, come back around to the front, lay one down, lay the other one down on top. I'll make sure I feed my tail underneath both layers. And we get here, so this is nice and flat, right? So here you see my bottom tail. Right now we've got the side with no mark or no stripe, so it's just plain. When I do that flip, see I flip it here so you can see both sides. You can see the stripe and the no stripe side. So if you didn't understand what I meant by both sides, I thought maybe having the stripe would illustrate a little bit better for you guys, okay? And again, the top goes on top, right? And we pull it down and through. We want to pull to the sides for our standard knot, to the sides. What we do not want to do when we get to this part right here, I see a lot of people, they pull up and down and they go like this to tie their belt. That is not what we're looking for at all, right? So we want to make sure when we get here for that standard knot, pull to the sides, and we just kind of help it come down a little bit. Alright, so we're going to do this from a top view, so it's a little bit easier for you guys if you're looking down. And when we take the center of the belt, we put it where we want our knot to be, right under our belly button. We're going to take both hands for the hand switch method. We're going to go around back. We're going to switch the hands, come around forward. We're going to lay one down. The other one goes on top of that, right? And then that one we just laid on top feeds underneath both layers. Just like that. I like to pull it a little tight here. Make sure this center area is kind of flat. Okay? Now for the standard knot, we're going to take our bottom tail. We're going to flip that bottom tail over so I can see both sides of the belt right there. I'm going to lay my top tail flat on top. Going to take that top, I'm going to go underneath to the bottom and pull to the sides. Not up and down, I'm going to pull to the sides. All right? And there we have our hand switch method with our standard knot. Knowledge. So, once you have these skills, you'll be ready to take on even the toughest opponents.